Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we are honoured, I say honoured, to have a man who has been buying and selling failing businesses. I repeat, buying and selling failing businesses and making them a profit. So we're going to hear what it is to be a real entrepreneur and what to look for and what to find out. And without further ado, we have Zahir.
Hello.
So
Hi.
thank you. So,
No problem.
So explain to us in detail what you do, please.
Okay. As I was telling you earlier, what I do is I look for businesses that are in trouble. Mostly fast food restaurants, and most of these places are in trouble because the partners don't see eye to eye after some time. So I basically look for a restaurant which is not doing well, buy it, revamp it to to changing the name, to changing the entire restaurant. It could be an Indian restaurant and I might change it to a pizza place or a burger place, depending what the location is like and what the demand is. Run it to a point where it starts making money, profit, and then advertise it and sell it.
Okay. So there are lots of people who just want to buy successful businesses out there.
Yeah. Main reason being, if there's someone who just wants to start something on their own but don't know how to do it. So here they have an opportunity where they can see that the place is making money and they've got a turnkey solution on their hands.
How long have you been doing this?
For over 5 years now.
Okay. And it's just been a growing... What actually got you into this idea? Because that's quite... I had a friend who spoke to me about this and I thought, no. I said, well, you can do it, but it's not for me because it sounds like too many moving parts. So what made you want to get into this?
It was by coincidence. There was this pizza place. The guy who was running it wasn't a person who was involved. He got into it by luck or by bad luck, you can call it. Someone owed him money, so he went into the restaurant and he asked him for the money, and he said, "This is all I have. You can take the restaurant, run it." And he thought that it's better, getting something for at least he'll get something. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, he was not getting any money. So he got the restaurant, and the thing is, he was working in the pharmaceutical company from 9 to 5. So he didn't really have time to pay attention to the business. Now, there would be times when the employees would not even open for lunch, and he would call and they would be like, oh, there are no customers, there is no business, stuff like that. That went on for some time. He was bleeding money left, right and center. He was he was at the verge where he just wanted to leave the place, because every month, instead of taking money from the business, he was putting in money. Yeah. So whatever he savings he had, he was putting into the business. So as luck would have it, my sister called me. She knew this person through someone, and my sister asked me to go have a look. I told her I have no clue how to run a restaurant. She said just have a look and maybe advise him and stuff like that. I went in, had a look, and I it wasn't my cup of tea, to be honest. So like he was persistent, and I still remember he called me the next day and he was like, Zohair, what have you thought about it? And I was like, no, I cannot. I have no clue how to run a pizza place and stuff like that. Begging, pleading, stuff like that. So when someone is not taking no for an answer, you just like try and give him a figure which like he will walk away with. Gave him a figure which was like if I would have sold the equipment, I would have made more money. I thought he would like just put the phone down and that would be end of it. Guess what? He turns around and says, okay, you can take the keys tomorrow. And that's how I started.
I suppose desperation calls people to make rash
decisions.
rash decisions.
Yeah, definitely. So
what kind of issues do these partners have?
Well, there are different problems. Like the one I just told you about, the first one that I did, there were no partners involved, but unfortunately the guy had a 9-to-5 job. So by the time he would get to the restaurant, it would be about 7ish. He had no control over what was happening in the restaurant. The people running, like his employees were not sincere, stuff like that. Other businesses that I've bought, there have been issues with in fact family members. They start with a vision, and when times they with any business there are ups and downs. When the business is up, everyone is happy. When it's down, you start seeing everyone's bad side. And that's when they start having arguments and issues. And when they start having arguments and issues, they are not concentrating on the main goal, which is to run the business. And from there, it starts going downhill.
Okay. With this investment thing, do you partner with people, or are you running this by yourself with this revamp?
No, I don't partner with anyone, and that's one advice is, if you want to do something, do it small rather than partner with someone. Most of these businesses that I've bought, partners like best friends, cousins, relatives, they've started a business, and they've fallen out. Like brothers and sisters have fallen out when they are doing just imagine they are in the business 9-to-5, so they don't and especially with a restaurant, you don't have any life. It's like 7 days every day from early morning till late night. There will be times when times will be tough, someone's mood might not be right, they might have an argument, there are issues that would come up. But then said that, there are partners who've done really well, and I'm shocked at times to see that how usually if it's a limited company, as in 3-4 partners, then there's a set it's a huge business where there are multiple partners, so it's not two people having an argument and running down the business. So if you want to have partners, join hands with multiple people. So any arguments, it's not one against another. There are at least 3 people, so at least 2 can convince the other one, and still survive and run the business.
Yeah, okay, that sounds really interesting. What would you say that you've learned that you wish you knew when you started?
Every day teaches you something new, to be honest. There's there's no end to learning. Every business I buy, every deal I'm doing, there's always oh, I wish I would have done this, or I would have done that. But that's hindsight, and hindsight is 2020, as you know. It's what I believe is what's happened now and what's going on. Make the best of it, and past is past. So you will always have you look back and you'll think, oh, if I would have done that, I would have made more profit. So I believe whatever is happening for the best, and that's the way I take it.
Okay, that's good. Were you a businessman in Pakistan beforehand?
Yes, I was. So basically, I belong to a business family. My family business was clothing, garments, ready-made garments. So we had multiple stores in Pakistan. Came to London to basically first went to Cyprus to do my associate degree. From Cyprus, came to London to my bachelor's degree, and then did my master's degree in HR from Middlesex University. And after I finished my thesis and all, went back to Pakistan, joined the family business, then decided to move back to London, and opened up a garment store over here, which was doing pretty okay and everything, but there was no excitement as the excitement was in restaurants. So once I found this restaurant business, I closed down the garments business. The advantage with this is there might be a project which would last for 3 months, 6 months, and then after that you can take a break till you find another project. So you get good breaks, both ways, as in break as in money wise, as well as break as in a holiday break.
Well, when you're looking for these businesses, do they find you, or do you have to go out and search for them? And if so, how do you find them?
Usually it's as I told you earlier, the first one was through someone knew someone. That's how I found out about it. Otherwise, I'm always on the lookout for ads where they're selling the business. I go in, have a look, see what the situation is, if what I can do about it. Obviously bargain with the person, and if I strike a deal, I buy the restaurant. So it's usually I am on the lookout. There are times, but very rare when someone would approach me. There was a restaurant, in fact, interestingly, one in Cricklewood. I bought the business. It was an Indian restaurant from two cousins who, as I said earlier, had a falling out, and they were desperate to sell it. Bought it, changed it into a pizza place, was running it. This couple, the guy was from India, the girl was from Italy, and they wanted to do authentic pizzas over there. They bought the place. They were working in a Michelin star restaurant for a few years, so they thought they knew how to run the business, but they forgot that the location, as they say, location was not for the type of food that they wanted to offer. They wanted to offer healthy and expensive style pizzas, proper Italian pizzas. Cricklewood was not the market for it. Cricklewood is more of a fast food restaurant, pizza business. So they ran it. They in about 3 months called me and were desperate to sell it back to me. So that was an interesting one. So I went back in. They had completely changed it. Obviously they wanted to do their own stuff, which was their idea, but it had lost all the customer base. Changed it entirely. So I bought it from them. Revamped it again.
Did you buy it cheaper than you sold it to them?
Of course I did.
Of course I did. Okay, go on.
I'm not running a charity, am I?
Yeah. No, I just wondered because they may have tried to debate, no.
Oh yes, especially the guy was really upset when I saw the business, did my did the numbers and told him this is what I will pay. And he was like, Zohair, what are you talking about? This is how much I paid you. So I was like, yeah, you paid me that much, but this is what I'm offering. So take it or leave it.
Did you explain to him why though?
I did, but when you're in that phase, you don't want to really listen to anything. You just you just start thinking that this I'm getting shafted on this. I'm not getting the right deal on this. is trying to, like, you know, obviously I'm trying to make money. I wouldn't buy the business if I thought I wouldn't be making money. But obviously he thought that, like, you know, he was getting a bad deal. But then, like, you know, like when he went to the landlord later on, I found out that he was willing to give the keys to the landlord. So the landlord told him when, like, you know, we were exchanging contracts. The landlord told him, at least you're glad that you, like, you know, you're getting some money, whereas you were willing to give the keys and, like, you know, lose everything.
You see how that is, though. The funny thing that is, he could give the keys away, but he wants more money from you. The logic in that doesn't make any sense.
I guess if it was someone else buying the business and would have paid less than what I would have paid, he wouldn't have felt as hurt. I would rather say hurt, because I can understand his situation as well. Here he is, like, you know, coming in with all these dreams. First of all, like, you know, those dreams are ruined because that business didn't take off. Then whatever his savings were, he lost all those savings in this business. I kind of sympathize with him, but hey, business is business, end of the day.
Did you warn him at the start to say, I don't think that type of business is suitable for this area?
I did try to, but obviously they had worked in a Michelin star restaurant and had worked for a few years, and especially the lady, she was from Italy, and she was like, I know more about pizzas than you do. So I backed out. I was like, fine, good. I got my money, said bye to them, and left.
Okay, that's fair. So it's been a really good, interesting interview. Very informative.
Pleasure.
Thank you for that.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Last question is, what's the impact you want to have on the world?
Impact of?
What is the impact you want to have on the world?
I don't know. I've never thought of, like, you know, having an impact on the world. All I want to do is, like, you know, I've got 2 kids. I just want to concentrate on, like, you know, making sure they are good human beings. Making sure they don't hurt people with their words, with their deeds. That's my aim. So world will take care of itself as long as, like, you know, everyone takes care of each other.
Okay. What's the future hold for you?
Right now,
business-wise, because obviously we've had COVID, or we're still having COVID. What is the future? Because you seem to be doing well. You know your stuff from what you're saying. So what does the future hold for you, business-wise?
to be honest, I have, like, you know, just like everyone else, I have no clue. I thought this would be over in 15 days. Guess what? It's been 1.5 years. It's still not over. So the first 15 days, I was like, perfect. Like, you know, 15. Like, I had like my trips and my, like, you know, everything. I like delayed it by 15 days, thinking that this would be over in 15 days. That went on for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Now it's 1.5 years, and we are still not out of the woods, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. How long does it take to turn a business around on average?
Approximately 3 to 6 months, depending what all needs to be done, how bad the business is. There's some businesses you just need to tweak it a little bit, get the right marketing and, like, you know, stuff like that. Others you just need to revamp everything. So it really depends on, like, you know, the business.
That's not long at all.
The thing is, like, if I run it for longer, I would have, like, you know, it's not a 9 to 5 job. It's a 24-hour job. And I repeat, it's a 24-hour job, because, like, even if you're home, and if the restaurant is open, you're working, because you will be getting calls. There will be issues on daily basis. Even if you have the best of staff, they still are staff. The buck stops with you, because it's your money on the line. So, like, anything that goes on for longer than 6 months, I think I would start losing money. So my aim is 3 to 6 months. I should, like, you know, be out of it.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for that.
No problem.
And we wish you well.
Thank you.
We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.